Now, I don't know if you've been following the news lately, but every time I go online, essentially, and I look at any place where things, revolving the news of the day get shared, I feel a little bit of a sense of dread, and that is because I think our, kind of humanity is just really nearing and very close to just total nuclear annihilation. Now, nuclear, that is, literal sense nukes, stuff like that. And that is because, like, I mean, just look what's happening. Like, I'm not one for politics. I do like discussing politics, but I don't want to become a political channel. But if you look at what's happening just around the world, there are just being bombs are being dropped just every day, right? Wars are being started every day. It's like just constant and constant. Uh, Literally just constant fighting. It's like, whenever the Russia-Ukraine conflict started, that was like, well, like 2 years ago, and ever since then, things have just been ramping up. And if you know, actually, what is the doomsday clock? Yes, doomsday clock. That thing is very, very close to midnight. And if you don't know what it is, it's essentially a clock that predicts, total nuclear annihilation. And currently, it is 89 seconds from midnight to midnight. So it's very, very, very close. It's basically every day it is hitting record numbers. And what is the doomsday clock? It is just a thing that basically scientists created a thing that kind of calculates the amount of stuff that is happening. And based on that information that it gathers, it makes an assessment and kind of creates this kind of risk assessment of how likely a nuclear war is, close to happening. Now, this doomsday clock currently, it used to be, actually, I'm looking, at an image. It used to be 1 minute 49 seconds from the thing. Whenever the U.S. withdrew from the Paris Agreement, and it's been the closest to midnight since literally 1953, when the U.S. and USSR tested hydrogen bombs. Like, we have never been this close to midnight. And why am I bringing this up? It's not like if it strikes, it's like 100% guaranteed annihilation. No, it's more like, if it strikes, then the kind of the percentages are just very high. Now, why am I making this video? I don't know. I just wanted to kind of share awareness of what is happening, right? I mean, I don't know, buy a bunker, or convert your basement into a bunker, or buy prep or something. I don't know, but the world is really, really going. We are really destroying ourselves. And now, one thing that is very controversial is that, if you do know that, recently the United States carried out a tactical operation which destroyed three Iranian targets. These targets were nuclear facilities, nuclear facilities which were creating nuclear weapons. Now, essentially, I don't want to get too deep into this, because I am no person to talk about that specific conflict. But from what I've read, essentially, that mission was not so successful. And this is not just from BBC. This is, also from AP News, other news sources. Essentially, there is no confirmation that this attack actually did anything more than delay their program by about a month. But this is just one thing that I wanted to kind of point out. But I think that every day there's just more and more conflict. Just, I mean, there's so much conflict. Like, goddamn. And I think we as humans, we have kind of, like, I don't know. We made all of these movies about nuclear annihilation. We made all of these books. We did all of this, like, awareness. We signed all of these agreements, and at the end of the day, people are still screaming at each other, right? Countries are still screaming at each other because, like, at a more primal sense, if you think about it, each country is essentially like a person. Each government is just a bunch of people. It's just a bunch of monkeys who, like, you can compare any argument, people start an argument, usually their argument ends in a fight, physical or not physical, mental or whatever, but that argument ends in a fight. And that's the same thing with this. Humans, we don't really learn our lesson. And I think that one of the things that is really, I will share a political opinion, and that is that one of the biggest mistakes is that Donald Trump got inaugurated, that he won the race. Now, why do I think that is simply because he said under his, rule or whatever, under his presidency, nobody would, go to war. There wouldn't be no wars. It would be peaceful, and that he would not start any wars, and that he would end a specific war. And that has not happened, not even close. If anything, he started a war, and it's really not looking good for humanity. I mean, GTA 6 is so close to releasing, and we're launching missiles at each other. It's like, goddamn, aliens must be watching us and being like, okay, these guys, these guys are looking nice. They're about to be cooked. They're cooking themselves. It's. I mean, I don't know. Uh, I don't want to be one of those people that says the doom isn't near, but like doom is actually like near. Like, goddamn, like we need to like shore ourselves up. Dust ourselves off, and just you know stop fighting with each other. Goddamn, I don't know. It's crazy. You look at, and it's not only on a how do I say this, political scale. It's also happening on a much more civilian scale, much more down to earth, right? I mean, so many people are just kind of having this divide, right? I mean, there's a bigger divide between people than ever. There's the Republicans, the Democrats, liberals, and the other people, and it's just a divide, right? And I don't know, it's not looking good for us. It's looking pretty, pretty. Oh my god, I don't know. It's not good, chat. It's not good. Like genuinely, I'm starting out a life, and this is what is happening. It's not okay. But yeah, I guess that's my take on the current world situation, crazy earth drama. I sincerely think that we just need to I don't know, I think the end goal, like, I mean, if you look at Rome, right? I mean, America is much like Rome. And if you don't know, Rome was the biggest civilization ever. Rome was the most, the biggest, most advanced civilization of, ever, essentially, right? And they were very big, very advanced. They were taking a lot of land. They were spreading their roots, and then just because they had bitten off too much, they started collapsing. Both eternally and externally. And if you look at Rome, you can really start drawing a parallel between the Roman Empire and the United States. Now, if the how do I put this? If history is right, then the United States will literally soon collapse. And I think that either Trump is the guy that will collapse the country, or he is the guy that will save the country. And what do I mean by save the country? By save the country, I mean that he will be the guy who will fuck up so badly that the nation will understand that morons like him can be in office, and then elect proper, people. Obviously, he may do something great and maybe prevent a war, in which case I will be incredibly happy. But I'm just some kid online, and like, who cares if I'm happy or not? I just want to not kind of be living in a world that is burning itself to death. But essentially, I think that he may as well, probably, I don't know. But, you know, our world, it's interesting, but if Rome burns, Rome burned actually, not if Rome burns, if United States burns, that will that's also not such a great thing because what is left there. There's the European Union, there's the commies. That's about it. So it's either communism or democracy, but communism is much more likely. So if it's really a tough time, right? So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the current world situation. That's kind of how I perceive it, and I don't know. I hope there's no point in hoping. I think everything in the end will be fine somehow, but I have a feeling that I don't know. It's one of those things where you don't want to say or actually believe that the world's gonna burn itself, but you know you can't like just not ignore the fact that it's in a really really bad state and position. Like it's not looking great, not at all. Like so yeah. So I guess thank you so much for watching. Right. Uh, Hope you enjoyed my unique take on this situation. Not this on the Earth drama situation, crazy Earth situation. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you disliked it. Subscribe if you like my content in general and you want to see more. And live long and prosper.